What's up, millionaires? It's your boy Millionaire E coming at you with a TV show episode. Now, the TV show we're going to be talking about is Flash, episode 18, season 7. Now, before we get started, I actually got some new stuff. I went to Barnes & Noble's on Wednesday, and one thing I got was an Astro Boy and Omnibus book, which was super weird because I didn't think these things were sold in stores. Like, I was walking in the Barnes & Noble's, it quickly caught my eye. I was like, I'm grabbing the thing, I'm walking around with it. I'm like, no one's getting this book. So, I'm going to show you my collection of it in another video. And also, I got one of these things called the School Briefs. And these are it's a part of the My Hero Academia series, but it's kind of like off stories or kind of like, background stories that they give. But we're going to be talking about, as I said, Flash, episode 18, season 7. Now, before we get started, spoiler alert for anyone who's not seen the episode yet. I don't want to spoil it for you. Now, if you watched my Space Jam New Legacy video, I'm going to do it kind of, we're going to have the good parts, the bad parts, my final rating. So let's get started. So the good parts that I found were, Chester finally kind of talked to Allegra and he was like, yo, what's wrong? He's like, he put the electronics down. He's like, what's wrong? She's like, Esperanza. And he was like, you know what? She's like, she thought it was her fault. And he's like, you know what? It's not your fault that Esperanza died. If you were with Esperanza, Flash would have died. You protected the world. Esperanza turned her back on the world. That is her fault. And I was like, well, that's a really good pep talk, Chester, but I mean, you really ain't have to, you basically were like, that's her fault that she died. I was like, dang, bro, man, chills, bro. And then the last part of the episode, they had like the wedding or the marriage of vows, where they redid their vows because, I think in the crossover episode, which was a long, long time ago, they had their wedding, but it was ruined. So, we're going to be talking about the bad parts. And the first thing that kind of had me like really, really pissed off is when we saw Kramer. Now, Kramer and Joe have been kind of together and not like dating together. Like, no. They've been kind of together because they were driving back to Central City and the Godspeeds were like having a fight. So they're getting everybody off the freeway because there's a whole bunch of Godspeeds. Everybody's screaming bloody murder. They're running around like, ah! And basically, one of the Godspeeds is like, hey, Joe, I'm coming for you. And ends up almost doing the, I'm going to kill you with the vibrating hand thing. And then we see Kramer, literally with gray lightning, runs straight and saves Joe. Now, nothing is said about this until we get to the last part of the episode. Now, you would think that Joe would have taken her to Star Labs. We do a little scan. Oh, wow, she's a metahuman. No. We get to the last episode. She's like, oh, yeah, I took the metahuman test. I'm meta. And apparently my quirk or I'm talking about My Hero Academia here, but apparently my ability is I can copy anybody as I see it. So apparently she saw, the Godspeeds running, so she copied their speed. And then how she survived when Adam said he saw her die is, she basically copied his kind of, because he's immortal, and she copied his fast healing. So I'm like, it's similar to Mona's quirk in My Hero Academia. Now, be that as it may, I was a little bit irritated because I was like, this could have been like really a good arc that we could have learned. We could have saw her, she learns her powers, because at first, I hated her because she hated the mutants for no reason. I'm like, this could have been the bridge to that gap because she was a mutant. And she could understand, I'm talking about mutants, but metahuman. And she would understand how metahumans feel and the whole kind of racism towards metahumans. But they didn't explain that. They just had her like, yeah, I found out I have these abilities. Bye, y'all. And I was like, what the heck? And then the other thing. Godspeed as a villain sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just saying this because I don't know if he might have been stronger in the comics. I haven't read the comics. I don't know. I was just like, in the show, this man was way too overhyped. And as I didn't like in the episode, it was overhyped too much. We thought this dude was like super strong. Man, he can't be taking anything. I was like, this man is sitting here taking Velocity X. And if y'all don't know what Velocity X is a speed drug that gives its user the speed like Flash. But I'm like, Flash, you are organically fast. Why is a fake speedster beating your butt? Why are there a whole bunch of fake speedsters? I mean, I understand it's all, oh, it's 3 against 1. Barry's getting his butt whooped by 3 against 1. Barry can create copies of himself. You are a speedster. I'm like, and then they have the nerve to be like, okay, so the world is ending, or the world is being run amok with these Godspeeds, clones. Maybe we should give, because August Hart was like, if you give me organic speed, that's what he wants because, he has that fake speed drug. But he's like, if you give me organic speed, I will take all the clones away. So they're just like, should we give him organic speed and possibly let a psycho loose, or should we figure out something else? And long story short, they were like, let's choose the speed. Let's give him speed. And they give him speed, and the man, like, he run around just bam, bam, bam. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, Flash. And I'm like, bro, what the heck? And he had got all his powers from, like, I guess they were collected batteries from all the different Godspeeds. So he was faster than Flash and all that. And Flash decides to do the one thing that I'm like, bro, really? Come on, man. You ain't got to do that. He was like, yo, Reverse Flash, there's somebody that wants to kill me. And the thing about it is, Reverse Flash's greatest weakness is it's similar to Batman and Joker. Because basically, if you know, anybody else who kills the Batman, Joker's going to be pissed. Just pissed. Because the Joker can't be the Joker without Batman. Same thing with Batman, can't be in Batman without the Joker. So that was in this situation. The Reverse Flash is like, I'm the only one that gets to kill the Flash. So he goes in there and they start fighting Godspeed. And it ends up where it was almost like it was cut out of a Star Wars movie. Because basically, these three dudes, they're just like, these electric lightsabers. And they're like, I was sitting there watching the episode like, making lightsaber noises because it looked like it was out of a Star Wars movie. And then I'm like, I have the high ground, Anakin. I'm like, I was just joking around with it. And then, the man, it ends up where basically the Reverse Flash almost kills Godspeed, which in effect, I'm like, let's just get this straight. Godspeed is from the future. If you kill Godspeed from the future, isn't that going to change something? Isn't that going to mess something with the timeline? And let me not even just talk about what happened after the episode. So, he didn't injure him. But then, Reverse Flash turns on him. Flash is like, I've gotten faster. And then the Reverse Flash is like, I will get faster as well. But, we get to the end of the episode and we find out that basically Godspeed is in the Star Jail. At Star City Jail. Which leads me to a confusion because you remember what I said, how they talked about, how basically the whole thing with if you kill the future, it's going to change the past. They kept this man in the past, but he's a future. So I'm like, is that going to do anything? I don't know. They didn't answer that. But I'm like, I'm going to give it kind of like, it's going to be more of a 40 to a 60. And the reason I say 40% was it was good, but 60% was the whole villain. The villain wasn't that good. And then it was like some characters, like with the whole Kramer situation, I was like, that wasn't explained. Well, it was explained, but it wasn't like elongated almost. So y'all remember, like the video, share it with your fam, and subscribe. And if you're subscribed, click that bell icon to be notified for more videos. And I'll see y'all later, millionaires. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye, y'all. And in the comments, tell me what you thought about this season finale. Because I want to hear your comments. So I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.